Hello and welcome to this video, or this guide that I'm going to be doing for Wurrzag, the Great Green Prophet, and the Bloody Hands. So let's begin. So first off, you want to just put your hero into your Lord. Not too important. Now you can attack the settlement. I wouldn't. It's not an unwinnable battle, but it's just you're going to have to be on point. They're going to have the 4 or 5 troops they have plus the garrison, so you're going to be slightly outnumbered. I think. And it doesn't really make too much of a difference. So you want the Savage Orcs. I like to upgrade this. And you can go for gold or growth. I think going for gold's a better choice. I like to go for movement range and the post-boot loot battle, and most importantly the replenishment rate. And then all I'll have to do is end turn. So I'm going to explain briefly why I'm going to do this strategy. So the idea is that I will sack Dragonhorn Mines and just keep sacking it. And keep sacking it, getting levels for my Lord, and eventually the faction leader of these guys, the Teeth Catchers, will come up and either attack my army or go in defensive in the settlement. And you really shouldn't have no problem, because you're going to have a full stack by then, and that's why I made the gold in Ekrund, because I'm not going to have many of these settlements, and I'm going to need all the gold I can get. But I will do this battle now, and I will see you at the end of the battle. Okay, so that's done. As you can see, I didn't take too many casualties. I would definitely recommend not auto-resolving that. It's not a very hard fight. And you want to sack it. So you can loot and occupy, but I don't think it's really worth it. The Greenskins do have a chance when they loot and occupy to keep the settlement level the settlement originally was, so this would be a level 2 if I got lucky, but I'm just going to sack it. Level 2 settlement isn't really that important. And go back into my territory and recruit 3 more Savage Orcs. And you want to go for magic, or at least I like to go for magic. The first 12 points are pretty tight, so what I like to do is I like to get the Foot of Gork straight up, and then head into Wurrzag's specific line, and go for Fury the Prophet, as well as Colossal Warpaint and Titanic Beat. And I really do think that that's just the best way you can go for him. Anyway, done with that. Been a while since I've done this, so I'll just double check diplomacy. So you're in a non-aggression pact with Grimgor, which is really, really good. Before the Greenskin update, which was aeons ago, you didn't really... You weren't in any kind of treaties with him, and he would declare war on you quite often, which was really frustrating. But yeah, so now, this part of the campaign, as I said, I'm just going to be sacking the settlement, waiting for the army to come up. There really isn't much that Greenskins can do against all these Savage Orcs. They're very strong in the early game. And so you don't really have to worry about them too much. So Fireball's a really good spell. Shame I'm not going to be doing this campaign, but... So the idea of this is just to get the levels so you can actually pretty comfortably defeat any Dwarven faction. So when you get the Foot of Gork, and as well as just the magical damage attack for all units in your army, it's pretty comfortable. As long as you're not versing 2 full stacks, which you probably won't be, it's pretty easy going. And recruit 3 more. You can, if you want, you can check. There's no army there, so maybe they're coming up now. I don't know. So before I did this strategy, I used to just ignore the Dragonhorn Mines and head south whilst recruiting an army as well, and that was okay. Because what I'd like to do is go down here, confederate them, and then take out Myrmidons for the Border Princes, which would give me quite a bit of money, and if I did have an army there, if there was an army there, then I could, they might get a peace treaty with me, but often they're not there, and so it was a bit hit and miss. And I think the most important, the best thing about this strategy, apart from all the levels you get, which is really important, is the fact that you can react to the Scabii quickly, because they will come down and take your settlements, and you really don't want to be committing any more to growth than you have to. But I will get some Savage Orc. More Savage Orcs. It doesn't really matter what Savage Orcs you get. I tend to get a couple of Archers because Archers are generally good. But for Wurrzag, having the normal Savage Orcs or the Biggins, the Savage Orc Biggins is really good. Just charging an enemy really is very effective against a lot of factions in the area, such as Skaven. Empire can't really deal with them either. But yeah, I'll just end that here. You can probably combine it if you want, but I'm not going to bother. Just save some money. So I'm not sure. It should be up here soon. So the only drawback to this is... Oh, there's the army. I'm not going to deal with that yet. As I said, getting levels is very important. Oh, it's a pretty weak... Okay, that is the faction leader. Hopefully he doesn't come. I'm happy to... the longer you're getting levels, the more likely you are to get your magic up and to get your really important skills, because if you do take him out really quickly and then you go down there, chances are you're not going to have enough levels to start attacking the dwarves. It's not too much of a problem because these dwarves aren't that strong. But definitely push Barakvar as early as possible. You're not at war with him, and you are at war with Karaka Kazak, but they will confederate them pretty early. Okay, they decided not to go in the mines. I'm not sure where they went. But I'm happy to keep farming it. Oh, nice talisman as well. So they don't really have a strong army. So since I've got a full army, I'm just going to go here and raid it for a little bit just to get some extra gold. Get some extra relations with certain factions.
Wurrzag, the great green prophet. Gork crushed them. Kill the gates. What? Alright, I'm going.
I'll go for magical reserves. Oh, probably should be raiding. So raiding's good. I think just going for raiding, I'm not doing that. But yeah, make sure you're raiding. Just get some extra gold. Also gives you a bit of extra experience when you're in raiding stance. safeguard.
If this is... Let's take what should be ours. Let's smash 'em good. I has mighty mystic powers.
So I'm going to need 4 for that, so in 2 turns I want to be making sure I save it for my the special skills. I think I'll just go Power of Dewa, or I could go plus 10% movement speed. I don't really need the movement speed too much. We'll go Evasion.
Great prophet.
If you are getting impatient, you can also go into ambush stance as well, just to lure them in. But I don't really want to. I think you could. I just stay here as long as necessary, because the more skill points you get, the stronger you'll be. Okay, so he came back, but that's not the faction leader, which is fine.
Not doing it.
Okay, I'm just gonna go recruitment supplies.
I have seen the future. Spells time.
I'm just gonna auto resolve this for the video. This would be a pretty easy battle. They've really got nothing that you can threaten you. And I didn't really lose anything anyway.
That's all we need. More boys to sort.
Wurrzag, the great green prophet.
I will just grab Root Marcher, and then next level I will grab Spleen Ripper, and then go down there. Okay, making lords there, that's good, that's a bit of extra money.
I is invincibles.
Okay, so I'm not going to get any more levels for Wurrzag, get the Magical Reserve. Want to get Arcane Conduit just for Wurrzag. Don't really use the magic too much of the Night Goblin Shaman. And I will probably replace him for my second army when I get the chance.
You have angered the gods.
No. So sometimes you'll take these guys out earlier, sometimes you'll take it out later. Probably the later the better. I've only done this a couple of times, so there is definitely a too late period, because you do want to be pushing the dwarves pretty early on. Or not too late anyway.
I'm the prophet.
But Wurzag's pretty strong against them, so... Okay, I'll get that. See who likes me. Oh, actually, I thought they liked you more for that, but they don't. That's fine. They're not really. You're not really getting that many negatives with them.
Wurrzag.
Can ignore that. Okay, I'm gonna go with growth because
Great.
I don't really have many settlements.
Yes, it'll be proper good. Gork crushed them. On out there. Gork and Morcock coming.
Make sure you're putting on this stuff. Helps a lot. I'm not, but yeah, just a reminder.
I'm just
Okay, level 9, getting there, getting there. I'll get Spleen Ripper next level. See if they actually decide to defend the settlement or not. Scabby, I've decided to come up, so the second you confederate these guys, they'll decide to come up anyway, but they're coming up now. I think this is their faction leader. No, it's not.
I, as mighty mystic powers.
What I can do is go like this.
Green prophet.
Put him on Spleen Ripper.
I have spilled.
And I will attack these guys.
Has come.
So this hasn't happened to me the last couple of times, but it really isn't a problem. It's just extra gold, extra experience. As I said, your main focus is the dwarfs. You do really want the tools to be able to beat them pretty effectively. But I will do this battle, and I will see you at the end of the battle. Okay, welcome back. So that didn't go too badly. There's just not much Greenskins can do against Wurrzag in the early game.
I have seen.
Try and get as much gold as possible, as many levels as possible. So I got a little bit lucky here. I didn't want to finish him off, so I could get a bit more experience. Just auto-resolve that.
I'm leaving.
And I'm hoping that now that they've seen I'm nowhere near, they might come back. But he's only level 11, one more level, and I'm good. So I'll just do that. I can get Arcane Conduit next. And I will
Coming.
end the turn there. Okay, we got the replenishment rate. That's the important technology. You can kind of go with whatever you want after this. I'm going to go with obedience, since obedience isn't too big a problem for the greenskins, but it's better when not having to worry about your settlements is a pretty good thing. So their faction leader decided to go there. That's a bit of a mistake, since his army isn't that strong. I'm just going to auto-resolve this. I wouldn't auto-resolve this, but I didn't really lose anyone, and I'm not going to be in a battle for a couple of turns. So I'll just occupy that. It's going to be mine anyway. Okay, so you want to make sure you delete some of this stuff. So it's a level 3 settlement, so you don't have to level it up, which is really good. This one is also a level 3 settlement, which is really good as well. Make sure you get rid of those buildings. And I'm level 12 now. I can get that, I can get that, and I can get that. And now you've got really, really cheap Foot of Gorks. You're set up pretty soon for Arcane Conduit. And you've got some nice settlements here and here. So what I would do is I would prioritize growth. Make sure you build wars. They're very useful. For the most part, for Wurrzag and Grimgor, I just like to build a lot of defensive buildings, the ones that give you garrison, the watchtowers. Mainly because of the Skaven. They have a real tendency to sneak around and take all your settlements. But we got a few goblin big bosses, which is nice. Just check where they are. I think I just got the one, which is fine. I'm gonna get out of the settlement so it can revolt, so I can go up, deal with the revolt. I don't have to worry too much. I might combine some of these guys just to... because I can make some more. I'll make one archer and two of these. I'm not going to upgrade that settlement.
Let's take what should be ours.
And you're close to a wire as well, which is pretty important. And I should be able to get the wire next turn. They want to make a peace treaty with me. That could be worth it. They're pretty easy to confederate. They're not very reliable. I don't think I will.
Your prestige grows, my lord. News of your conquests spreads far and wide. Your developing power is no...
Oh, didn't think that one through, but this should be alright. Just auto-resolve that. Maybe I'll get a Doomdiver catapult? Maybe I'll get a Doomdiver catapult? Wow, that is nice. Maybe I should play this campaign. So that's pretty lucky. But that's one of the reasons why I do like to farm the settlement garrison, because sometimes they do give a Doomdiver catapult, and I got lucky this time. So I'm going to upgrade that. I'll combine these two. And now the world's your oyster when it comes to what you want to do with the rest of your talent points. Personally, I like to just get Arcane Conduit. This Wild Feat's also very useful since you are a little bit on the slow side on your mount, but it's not that important at this point. You'll just be versing dwarves. They're a little bit slow. I'll just go for scouting. And I assume their main army is here, and they're making one there. I'll see if their where their faction leader is. He might be dead. And we'll just go with the walls here. And I won't really have to worry about this settlement for the whole game. It's very lucrative since it's an elven port. And I've never had any factions down here declare war on me as Wurrzag. But I think I will end the guide here. It's not a very clinical guide, but you get the idea of what you need to do. And I've always found this method to be really, really effective. It's very safe. And it's a really good start. From this position, I'm very well prepared to deal with the dwarves, with all the magic, and Grimgor's still very happy with me, and so I am going to be heading up here. I do want the replenishment, just because I have the Doomdiver catapult. But, so I'll just do a little overview of the campaign in general. What I would do now is confederate these guys, head up to Barakvar, kill off Barakvar. Yes, you're not at war with them, but they're just going to get confederated by Karakakazak. Chances are they'll also declare war on you. If you let them flank you, they're just going to cause havoc behind you. So you just got to be a little bit careful. In this area, maybe you'll see Karak-Akazak. Maybe they'll team up on you. You don't want to be versing 2 stacks of dwarves with anyone. Thankfully, they'll often just attack your army. But yeah, so you want to go through the Karak-Akazak, take that out, and then see what kind of situation you're up to. You could head north and take out Karak-Kadrin, help consolidate all the greenskins up north, and Azag as well. Or you can start heading south and help Grimgor. Personally, I don't like to confederate Grimgor till about turn 70, 80, 90. Really depends how his campaign goes. But for me, Wurrzag is one of the best lords for the greenskins. But not just because he's strong, but because he can confederate Grimgor. So for me, Grimgor is the worst, not because he's the, not just because he's the weakest lord, but because he can't confederate himself. And none of the other greenskins really pack the punch that he does in the early game. But yeah, not too hard a campaign. In terms of starting difficulty, I'd probably rate it a 3 out of 10. You know, you're going to be fighting it a little bit, but you're more than equipped to deal with him, to deal with any threats that come your way. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you'd like to see, and I'll see you in the next video.